In 1998, two broke Stanford students tried to sell their company for $1 million. Yahoo said no, that company was Google, and that no became the most expensive word in the history of the Internet. Chapter 1. When Yahoo owned the Internet. In the late 1990s, Yahoo was not just a website. It was the Internet. If you wanted news, you went to Yahoo. If you wanted email, you went to Yahoo. If you wanted to search for anything online, you went to Yahoo. Millions of people visited it every single day. Advertisers were spending hundreds of millions of dollars on it. The stock price was soaring. The headquarters in Sunnyvale, California, felt like the center of the digital universe. Yahoo executives were on magazine covers. They were being celebrated as the people who had figured out the Internet before anyone else. They felt untouchable, and that feeling was the beginning of the end. Chapter 2. Two students in a garage. While Yahoo was celebrating its dominance, two PhD students at Stanford, named Larry Page and Sergey Brin, were working on a search engine in a garage. It looked almost laughably simple. A white page, a search box, a button, no flashy graphics, no news headlines, no entertainment sections. Just type what you want and get the best answer as fast as possible. Most people in Silicon Valley thought it was too simple to matter. Yahoo had a search function. Everyone had a search function. What was so special about a white page and a box? What was special was everything underneath it. Page and Brin had built an algorithm that ranked search results based on how many other pages linked to them. The more trusted sources that pointed to a page, the higher it appeared in the results. It was a fundamentally smarter way to find information, and users who tried it once almost never went back to anything else. The problem was it was costing money to run and generating almost none. So the founders did what broke Stanford students do. They tried to sell it. Chapter 3. The meetings that changed history. In 1998, Page and Brin approached Yahoo and offered to sell Google for $1 million. Yahoo passed. They had their own search. They were not in the business of acquiring small, unproven startups from graduate students. The students went back to the garage and kept building. A year later, the price was different. Google was growing fast. Word was spreading. The user numbers were climbing in a way that was hard to ignore. By 2002, Yahoo was finally paying serious attention. Negotiations began. The price this time was $3 billion. Yahoo's leadership debated it seriously. $3 billion was real money even for Yahoo, and Google was still unproven as a business. It had users, but it had not yet cracked the code on making money from those users. Yahoo walked away from the table. $3 billion was too much for a search company they believed they could build themselves if they ever needed to. What happened next is one of the most devastating sequences in business history. Chapter 4. Google changes everything. The year after Yahoo walked away from the $3 billion deal, Google introduced AdWords, a system that allowed businesses to place ads directly alongside search results for the specific terms their customers were actually searching for. If someone searched for running shoes, they saw ads for running shoes, not random advertisements for things they had never thought about. Relevant ads, targeted ads, ads that worked. Businesses discovered almost immediately that Google Ads generated customers in a way that no previous form of advertising had ever achieved. The revenue exploded. Millions became hundreds of millions, became billions. Google hired the best engineers money could attract. Built faster servers, expanded into new products. Gmail launched and immediately became the best email service available. Google Maps launched and changed how humans navigate the physical world. Android launched, and within years was running on billions of smartphones worldwide. YouTube was acquired and became the world's largest video platform. Google became something that had never existed before. A company so deeply embedded in daily human life that removing it would require rebuilding the entire way the modern world finds information. Chapter 5. Yahoo falls apart. While Google was building an empire, Yahoo was having meetings about what Yahoo actually was. Was it a media company? Was it a technology company? Was it an advertising company? Nobody could agree. Leadership changed, then changed again, then changed again. 6 different CEOs in 10 years, each one arriving with a new strategy. Each strategy creating confusion and delay. Each delay allowing Google to pull further ahead. Users who had grown up on Yahoo began switching to Google for search. then for email, then for maps. Then for video one by one, Yahoo lost the categories it had once defined. Advertisers followed the users. Revenue declined, stock price fell. The company that had once turned down $1 million for Google was now worth less than the deal it had rejected. In 2008, Microsoft offered to buy Yahoo for $44 billion. Yahoo's CEO rejected it, said it undervalued the company. In 2016, Yahoo sold its core internet business to Verizon for $4.8 billion. The company that turned down $44 billion from Microsoft sold itself 8 years later for less than $5 billion. Chapter 6. The lesson nobody wants to learn. It is very easy to sit here in 2026 and say Yahoo made obvious mistakes. But here is the truth that makes this story genuinely important. The people making those decisions were not stupid. They were experienced executives with real information, making real decisions under real pressure. They looked at Google in 1998 and saw a simple search page with no business model, and $1 million felt like too much. They looked at Google in 2002 and saw $3 billion for a company that was still figuring out how to make money, and walked away. Every one of those decisions felt reasonable at the time. That is the actual lesson. The greatest business mistakes in history almost never feel like mistakes when they are being made. They feel like prudent decisions. They feel like discipline. They feel like protecting what you have built. The companies that change the world always look too simple or too expensive or too risky right up until the moment they become inevitable. And by the time they become inevitable, it is too late to buy them. Yahoo helped build the first internet. Google built the internet that replaced it. And the distance between those two outcomes was created by a handful of meetings, a handful of decisions, and a handful of moments where the people in the room could not see what was standing right in front of them. So here is the question that should follow you out of this video. What opportunity in your life right now looks too simple or too expensive or too risky to take seriously? Because someone somewhere is sitting in a garage right now building the thing that is going to make everything you currently believe about the future look exactly as wrong as Yahoo's boardroom looked in 2002. Would you have bought Google for $3 billion in 2002? Comment below. Follow Business Mystery for more stories about the decisions that built empires and the decisions that buried them.